Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Around the Table GTA. And I don't know why, but I'm laughing. But we are going to be covering some controversial topics in the next couple of episodes. So I'm just giving you guys a trigger warning there so you can subscribe and ignore those episodes, or you could subscribe and enter the discussion. And the reason why it's controversial because people have very strong feelings about it, and I will be talking about them because why not? I do talk about controversial things, but at the same time, I like to have my opinion and also listen to some opinions because I truly think that if we want to learn, if we want to grow, if we want to truly progress in life, we need to be able to listen to voices that we don't necessarily agree with or find out why those voices think that way. Whether we think it's ridiculous, whether we think it's bigoted, whether we think it's insane and those people shouldn't share the same world as we do, we still need to kind of see where they're coming from, or at least try to see where they're coming from, so that we could have a change or see how maybe they might be misguided. Or maybe we're misguided. Who knows? Maybe the opposite side of the spectrum is correct and we've been wrong all along. We won't know unless we open that door towards discussion. And with that being said, you guys are wondering, what am I talking about? At least this episode, I'm going to be talking about Valentine's Day. Valentine's Day was just about a week ago. Anyways, it was. And before that, I was talking to someone. Actually, we're going to skip over that and we'll go back to that point. But this Valentine's Day, I actually was hanging out with someone. Was it my Valentine? Well, you can't really call it your Valentine if you don't ask, right? Or unless you're married. So there's that. But I saw a lot of different things online talking about just how ridiculous it is. And I saw some streams where people were talking about like Valentine Day crash outs because people weren't reciprocating the gifts the way people intended, or they didn't think it was thoughtful at all. Like, I know somebody, actually, you know what? I don't really want to put them on blast, but I'm going to put them on blast anyways. Anytime they give you a gift, it's not really a gift for you. It's a gift for them so that you could join them in whatever kind of adventure that they're pushing this way. And especially when it comes to Valentine's Day, when it comes to gift giving, when it comes to constructive criticism or a criticism in itself, we need to be able to be empathetic and think about the people that we are talking to, right? Just because you feel a certain way doesn't mean that how you voice it will necessarily go well. Like, just for an example, I was at a hospital today and we're near the ICU, and there was these two people waiting and they had everything on full blast. And it's just like, there's people trying to recover, there's other people here waiting. Get some headphones. Not everybody wants to hear what you're listening to. It drove me nuts, but I'm not trying to crash out at the hospital, right? I'm not going to try to send somebody to the hospital when I'm in the hospital. But getting back to the main point, Valentine's Day, this is my hot take. Valentine's Day should not be hated, right? Yes, it might be a corporate ploy to push all of these products, but at the end of the day, the next day, you get 50% off chocolate, 80% off chocolate, a lot off chocolate, right? It's another, I wouldn't even call it a holiday, but it's another day to kind of show how you could express something to someone. And let's say you're a person who doesn't really show your affection that way, you could use that as an excuse, or use that day as an excuse to try to do something a little bit more that's out of your comfort zone. And I understand that there's people who are not in relationships, people who are alone during those times, right? But just because you're alone, does that mean you have to ruin it for someone who isn't alone, right? Why not find someone like something that's been popularized over the decade is Valentine's Day, right? And I'm not even gonna put my hot take on that because I already did one hot take. But Valentine's Day is for, I wouldn't even say really for couples. I would say it's a nice day to show affection. It's a day of affection, and it's just that couples do it more, right? And it caters to couples, and it's just another way for the governments to get us to spend a little bit more. But we don't have to indulge in these societal norms to feel included or even to feel excluded. I was talking, like I said, I was hanging out with someone Valentine's Day, and I was talking to them about their mindset that they shouldn't hate Valentine's Day. There's no reason to hate Valentine's Day because there's multiple options you could choose. You could consider the fact that it is Valentine's Day and the government's doing all of these things to overprice flowers, overprice chocolates, overdo all of these things for a day when you could celebrate whoever any day, right? You could let the notion of this day disrupt your mind and make you feel negative, or you could embrace it, right? If you embrace it, then you could have the pleasures of the people who are also embracing it. You could ignore it and just treat it as another day. Why? Because you don't believe in that. So there's no reason to have something that you don't necessarily agree with hold so much power on your emotion, because that's a waste of energy. And I think that's been my thought of Valentine's Day for a very long time. I don't know the last time I had a Valentine's. And even then, let's say this year that person did count as a Valentine. Does it really matter? Not really. Did I spend time with someone that I wanted to spend time with? Yes. Did I do some Valentine's Day activities? Yes. Right? But I could have did that any other day. I just chose to do it that day. Why not? Right? It was a time where we were both free, so we did something, right? And yeah, we shouldn't have such animosity over things that we don't necessarily control, that we can't control. Or you could always turn that into something else, right? It's like Friday the 13th. Friday the 13th in some cultures is horrible. Worst day possible. Stay home. Don't go to work. Don't go outside. Avoid the black cat. It's bad luck. Don't do anything that's bad luck. Don't look in the mirror. Don't. It's all don't. All right? Some cultures believe that it's super lucky, so it's just do. Go outside, see your friends, buy a lottery ticket, uh, send a message to the person that you have a crush on, talk to them, do something crazy. Why? Because all the luck is on your side. It's a day, right? And realistically, we don't even really know what day it is, right? When did time start? When did people start? What day actually is it? Is it actually, February? Or is it, if you think of it that way, like how many days have you been on this earth? Are we even counting right? So to be so focused on something that doesn't, like, especially if it has a negative connotation in your mind, why put so much energy into it? There's so much things that you could put your energy into. And I think that's another reason why I've been offline a little bit more, right? The people who I want to talk to, I have a way to contact them. And despite me being online or not, if I'm offline enough, they're going to reach out to me. So I don't need to constantly be constantly be online to connect with them, especially if they have my phone number. They could text me. They could send me a video call. They could message me on Discord. They could message me on Snapchat. They could message me on all of these different social networks that I don't even really understand how I got into, but I'm there. Kind of like most of you guys, right? We just subscribe to it. And it's kind of been slowly encroaching into all of our lives, right? And just like Valentine's Day, it's our choice to entertain it, to engage with it, to go with it, right? And that's just the reality of things. And we need to know how to control that, to balance that, right? There's a lot of people who aren't happy, and it's because they're going online thinking everything is real that they see. They don't know the hours of editing that people do. They don't know that people pay for a certain look, or they pay people to make a skit so it looks natural, or they're not even really happy. They're just doing all of this stuff because they're trying to keep up a certain persona of themselves, and they don't know what to do. There's so much things that are going on line and offline, right? We need to find what we truly love, right? And I think that's another um positive to Valentine's Day, right? It could be a day of clarity where you're like, you know what, I'm with a person and I don't know why I'm with this person, how I'm with this person, where is this going? What do I really want? What do I really love? Whether it's the person, whether it's life, whether it's your job, whether it's something to just put your time into. Am I pouring my love, my appreciation, my focus on something that's important, or am I being distracted from what I truly want to be or what I truly want to do? Either way, that's my take on Valentine's Day. I know it's a little bit strange. I know there was different stories woven into that, but how do you feel about Valentine's Day? And if you did like this episode, hopefully you do subscribe on whatever platform you're checking it out, and we'll have our next controversial video next week. Either way, have a nice night, have a nice day, and take care.